It come, I think, on a national or global level. Then there are less violent methods of defense. I can use pepper spray. I got pepper sprays from the city police and gave it to my daughter when she went to Delhi. She never had to use it, but the very fact you have it with you in your handbag or bag will give you a certain level of confidence. Keep pins, pins, and know where to jam it in at the right time. These are all devices and nobody can punish you for that. Don't be scared if it leads to a little blood at it, because what you do in your defense, you are exempted under the code, Criminal Procedure Code and the IPC. That's it. Yeah. Lastly, can show the promotion video of Friends of Police. Why do you become a friend of police? If you have right now, how many of you fear the police? Many of you are half or so. Isolation. Yeah, so how many of you are afraid of the police? Nobody here. You are afraid even to say you are afraid. So universally there is a certain fear of the police. The public fear the police as much as they fear offenders in countries which are like us. But to reduce that fear level, I said, let us create a bridge between the police and the people. And there's a kind of panacea for all the ills of policing. All the apprehensions that are there in your mind will be reflected in the questions that follow this session. Are dealt with this panacea of Friends of Police. It creates a bridge with the police even before you face a problem. So it will reduce your fear level of the police as well as of criminals, offenders. So it will improve your ability to report, ability to give intelligence and information, which will lead to more cases being reported, more actions being taken. Not that every case you will see police acting perfectly. Police also are imperfect. There may be a police officer who will completely ignore a complaint of stalking or a sexting or whatever it is. Then all have not been fully sensitized. So there has been great initiatives in the state of gender sensitization. So the current Chief Minister, under a personal drive, organized gender sensitization of the entire police force some 10 years ago, under the supervision of a women ADGP. So courses were conducted and it was compulsory that everyone attends, right from the last policeman to the senior most officer, in batches all over the state. So they were completely sensitized about different aspects of gender discrimination, which leads to gender violence. So discrimination is the root. And so whatever is our contribution to discrimination, we need to eliminate it. And gradually, over a period of time, in your generation, I believe, the generation of my children, I believe they will walk in an India where they will be free to wear what they want and not have anybody, abusing them or making them, feel offended in any manner. So that is going to happen as we turn this into a mass movement. There is a need to educate masses of people in India, even those who are not been to formal portals of education like your colleges. So just have a view of this video which I recently showed in the wake of the incidents in the US. Though it is referring to that particular thing, it's a panacea for all types of ills. Isolation and public antagonism is part of what I call the power syndrome. See, there is always a sense of hostility towards the police worldwide because of the nature of our job. We are always doing negative interventions on behalf of law, on behalf of society. And therefore there is always invites, the negative vibes and antagonism. The only way to break this kind of police isolation and public antagonism, as we saw in the recent horrific incidents in Dallas, in which 5 police officers on duty were assassinated by a sniper in the name of retaliation.
for the killing of two black individuals in two completely different jurisdictions. So there is a need to build bridges between the police and the people they serve in every nation, every state, every city. And that's why I came up with the solution of Friends of Police. It's on the net as an international blueprint for community policing. And it enables the police to build bridges with every segment of society, every community. In India, after it was started, it led to fewer attacks in the state of Tamil Nadu on the police because the public antagonism was broken up and people began to realize that the police are there to serve us. And therefore, over the last 30 years of my career, I have found there has been a dramatic decrease in the number of attacks on police personnel and police institutions and properties in the wake of any stimulus of this kind. So it would be wise, as I said, even on my visit to Washington and New York 2 years ago, as part of a seminar and training program organized by the International Association of Chiefs of Police, that the United States thinks of starting an active Friends of Police movement across the states, every state, every city, so that every law-abiding citizen has a bridge in place with the police, even before an incident of this nature happens. This would create a far more supportive environment for the police, which functions in such a difficult environment. And it will generate a lot of goodwill and also intelligence and information flow to the police from the public who are everywhere. My saying is, cops alone can't do it. Cops along with FOPs or Friends of Police can do it. So I urge the nations of the world, right-thinking individuals, visionaries, police officers, to support this concept and movement called Friends of Police in every nation. Thank you.
So I've learned the principle to start a women's FOP unit in MOP, and also the other colleges that can also take the message to prevent this kind of incidents and enabling the students, the girls, women to be empowered, to be fearless. Fear is the most disempowering emotion. It doesn't enable you to be your best. And it will automatically lead to spread of awareness, deterrence, reporting, and punishment. Thank you. Ladies, I would now request you to ask any queries, questions. I do not have all the answers, but whatever I do know, I will share.
Thank you, sir. Your presentation was very enlightening. Now the floor is open, so you can all ask questions.
How many of you have been victims of one form or other of all these things which we have? There's not that many, only about 15. If it is a completely honest thing, then it shows Chennai is not too bad. Because going by the ratios we saw there, it's less than that. Yes. You can say anything, you can ask anything.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for your speech. I'm sure it helped all of us immensely. And you spoke about this reporting from a judicial point of view, and you spoke about all the sexual assaults and all of that. I think, I just want to comment on this. I think one of the main promoters of this, to make it seem like it is okay to do it, is some form of media. Because when you see movies, when you see certain songs, where there is eve teasing. You can see blatantly that it is eve teasing. You know, the hero himself will stalk the heroine.
You don't use that word, you use sexual harassment.
Sexual harassment, and the hero himself will stalk her till she agrees to it, and somehow love forms in her mind. And I think people think that it is okay, or that's how you approach relationships in real life. So, what is your comment on it? Because once I did a project on this for my Tamil project, and I went around asking people. I showed them a video of a famous hero right now. It's a famous song too, where he is blatantly actually sexually assaulting her, and people enjoy that. People whistle, people clap. So over there we're tolerant with it. Over there we're cheering for that because we think it's entertainment. But when it comes to real life, it makes us very uncomfortable. So that gap exists because we think that is movie and this is media, but then that is a major influence on us. So what is your comment on that, sir?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, because media projects certain images of women which is derogatory, unequal, not progressive, commoditizes women, media including advertisement, and therefore there needs to be both a regulation and a change in culture. And there should be social boycott by women, particularly if they see any such thing, of such entertainment channels, entertainment modes. There should be loud protests against such things so that the culture changes. If you tolerate it, and if the right-thinking men tolerate it, then it's only going to increase because they find that they will be playing to the gallery and they find it improves the TRP rating. So such commercial media is one of the main roots of driving this. Disease was not there that much there if you look at it in the history of India. So why is it increased in recent times? Nothing happens without the change in the inputs. So one of the inputs, as you said, is distorted, portrayal of all these incidents in films, serials, and so on. Right.
Hello sir, I just have a question, which is, we're talking a lot about women's safety and how to protect women and the laws for women. But in today's world, we realize that feminism is on the rise, and I'm sure that most of us in India do not actually know the exact meaning of feminism. We think that feminism means being above man. That is not the meaning of feminism. So what we're doing today is actually practically taking advantage of that power that we're getting and using it against men that are not even doing anything to us. There are certain cases where a man has not even done anything, but a woman would just, bluntly put a case on him, or, a woman is supported in the society. So I just want to know what kind of laws are provided for a man's safety in India today. Because we're talking a lot about.
Let's first take care of women's safety first. Once we sort that out, then we'll go into that, because that is few and far between. There are lots of incidents where men become victims. Say the girl may be at fault, the bride may be at fault, but the complaint comes for dowry harassment when there was no dowry issue at all. The police have to go by the complaint, because in such cases the burden of proof is on the accused. In case of all sexual harassment, the burden of proof is on the accused. And so the father-in-law, mother-in-law, the husband, quite a few were guilty, quite a few were innocent, could also be harassed. And then when women come together in a group, that same mob mentality can prevail, and there could be teasing of boys. But those cases are more isolated, they're more the exception than the rule. So we cannot, there are provisos for protection of that also. Rape of man by woman, you've heard of cases like that. I think it's not common in India, but in the US it is there. Gradually such concept will come to countries like India.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much for the information that you have given. Sir, there have been rare cases where police personnel themselves have been involved in such acts. What would be your comment?
Yeah, even when I was SP of a district, a woman accused was badly beaten and stripped and all that. And then commission of inquiry. I was on that time at some training. So by the time I returned, the government ordered a commission of inquiry. And then I remember the Chief Minister's statement was very nice. He said, see, there are some black sheep, but doesn't mean that you take a tin of black paint and paint all the sheep black. So that could be the possible answer. There are black sheep, of course, in our fold. They are being gradually either turned around, weeded or punished or deterred. Nowadays, when the male police counterparts are quite aware of the dangers, because a large number of them have, in those cases they were suspended, and I think eventually they faced serious punishment too. And even I, being vicariously responsible as the SP, even I was under scrutiny of that commission of inquiry, though I barely escaped with the skin of my teeth from any indictment. So there is a awareness in the police force. As I told you, gender sensitization of the police force. So police are not a separate species. They come from the same stock as your parents or my parents or whatever. And so they are going to mirror most of the things. They see the same movies. So if they see one icon says that after that fight I felt like I was raped, like a rape victim. So they also get inured, desensitized. So it is happening, but it's far less than in the last 2-3 decades.
Good morning, sir. Your speech was extremely informative. Like I wanted to ask you some questions, like how to react immediately when something happens. Like if see in the case of Swati's murder, nobody was not interested. Everybody was afraid to go and help her because everybody personally is like they take care about their life. So they say in some smartphones there's buttons coming up like to press it for immediate help. But I don't think now all those technologies are being implemented in today's world.
No, this app is precisely that. You immediately download it and then you try it out.
Yes, sir, but nobody is able to involve and take up some responsibility because everybody is afraid of their life being safe. So unless and until we correct it mentally, then how do we go about it?
That's what, as you are sensitized and made aware that the more you report accurately, the more safe you will be. The less you report accurately and promptly, the less safe you will be. You cannot say that it is happening to somebody else and turn away. You have to think that it is, affecting you. Every attack on another girl in the city or anywhere in the world is an attack on your personal, the threat to your own safety. Once everybody thinks like that, automatically there will be awareness, there will be deterrence. So these apps are very much active, and all of you can test it also. When next time it happens, once the information reaches the police instantly, it will reach the jurisdiction police thanks to technology. You will get the same FIR number as somebody going to the station and giving a complaint. But there is no resistance, or refusal to register. So first act to prevent is to report. Do that immediately. Don't think, don't have an opinion. Oh, they will not act. What will happen to me? It's all kept anonymous. That's another guarantee. The name, the cell number, and other things of the person who passed on the information is kept anonymous.
Thank you so much.
Sir, when an FIR is filed, will I not be called?
So, if at all you be examined as a complainant, they will take steps to protect your, identity. Even you see their face will be covered.
Sometimes it's too late, sir. I see something on the road happening, right? And I want one nearby policeman to act on it. And where do I have time in the morning to find this app and I know...
No, the app is right on your cell phone. So
okay, sir, but the other day I just saw some guy slapping a girl on the road, right? We saw it and we were dumbstruck and we were helpless. We could not do anything. We really cannot go and probe to find out what actually went wrong.
No, why don't you do just this? Just use the app, report that the guy has slapped a girl, don't know the reason, and then see what the reaction is, assuming that nothing will happen and what is the problem you are going to face.
So I will not be, will I be disturbed after
No, that's what the information is passed on anonymously.
Okay.
And then the helpline also, you don't have to tell your name. In fact, you use assumed names. Whenever you call in for anything, you say you're a FOP. FOP is now well branded in the police force at least.